17 degrees, only a degree off our high now, 18 degrees. And believe me, I think we're going to go a little better than that, to be quite honest. Tuesday, October the 9th, coming up after the ads, coming out of Texas, Mark Wayne Glasmire joining us right here at Galaxy.
And Galaxy107, appreciate the support from New Zealand. Your station rocks.
Yeah, mate. That's a good idea.
Oh, your Facebook Live.
Sorry?
The Facebook Live.
Facebook Live?
Yeah.
Oh dear, we're committed.
Hello everyone
We're
on
committable.
Facebook Live.
Good. Nice to have people join us too. It's always cool to have the rest of the world catch up with us.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a bit of visual.
I just signed on Facebook. I just put in a little note, said hi, Barbara.
Okay.
Nice. Nice. You can see yourself on TV.
Yeah, about that.
He'll
Yeah.
see what I'm filming.
You ever see these space balls?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, can you
Years
see
ago,
yourself
there's
quite
there's
clearly?
a scene in there where Dark Helmet is in this control room and he's looking at the camera and he's looking at himself and he's looking back and it's like it's all happening live at the same time. It's hysterical.
It is. I know the scene you're talking about. So we have you deep inside my heart playing right now. And I absolutely love this track. I really, really do. I got to let you know, Mark. We get about 30 to 50 bands a day get in touch with Barbara and our production team for promotions and stuff like this. It goes from Barbara to production, they argue about it, then it goes to a board, they argue about it, and then it goes back to production, back to Barbara. And then we have the final say, basically, because basically I have to do the interviews.
Sure.
If you know what I mean. So it's an involved process, and we literally only play good music here at Galaxy. So
That's great.
welcome to the family, my friend.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered. I'm honored, honestly. Thanks so much. Because I know it's a lot of people out there. There's only so many pieces of the pie, and everybody's trying to get one. And I appreciate that you've allowed me to be part of this.
Oh, believe me, we're very, very honoured for you to join us. We really, really are. So what I'm going to do right now, and believe me, if you see me make funny gestures, it's not only Barbara, it's other people in the room and everything like that. So
Sure.
There is a bit going on behind the scenes, if you know what I mean. So sometimes I kind of react, and I don't mean to. So don't be put off by that.
I won't.
Thank you, Mark, for joining you on our Skype interview, and glad to have you along, Mark.
We've got Jason from England. Jason from England.
That's funny.
Jason's joining us from England.
Yeah.
Really, man, I'm looking forward to our next talk, believe me. I'm really catching up with things, and you're going to be absolutely astounded with the progress that we're making, so believe me, hang in there.
And hi, Vicky.
Anyway,
Hi, Gary.
Vicky's
Hi,
joining us
Gert.
too. Hey, Vicky, nice to have you with us. Anyway,
Okay.
let's go to the desk.
But I think you're
play? I don't know. It's not going to play. How's that? Oh my goodness. Stop. Yeah, I'm sorry. It didn't activate. I don't know why it didn't do that, but hey, we can figure that one out as we go, right? You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 8 after 11 o'clock, 18 degrees. That's our high. I knew we were going to make it. In fact, I think we're going to go a lot higher. Maybe another couple. What do you reckon? 20 degrees. Tuesday, October the 9th. And coming out of Arlington, Texas, is Mark Wayne Glasmire. And Mark, it is an absolute pleasure to have you joining us down here, down under.
Oh, thanks so much. I'm the honored one here. I'm really grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. And while we're getting into this, I suppose I'd better give a big shout out to Martha because, believe me, extraordinary lady, absolutely salt of the earth, love her to bits. And Martha, if you are watching or listening right now, we need to connect again with Southern Halo, if you remember right. But right now we're with Mark. Right. We're with Mark Wayne Glasmire. And Mark, believe me, absolute pleasure to have you join us. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening now to join us down here for lunch.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you, too, you said 17 degrees. Now, that's Fahrenheit. That's not Celsius.
No, that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Okay. I was asking you when you said degrees, I think, well, okay, that's probably Fahrenheit.
No.
So 17, what does that translate to Fahrenheit?
That's something that we can never really, we get asked that a lot. We kind of feel somewhere in the region of between 50 and 65, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But
actually, we have a cold front coming through right now. We've been having storms all day, and it had been quite warm, but it's actually cooled it off a little bit, so we're probably around the same temperature right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but yet again, I get quite a few cold fronts. It's called the wife.
What's that? I missed that part.
I get quite a few cold fronts. It's called the wife.
Oh, got it. I got it. Very good.
By the way, she's out in the other room in reception right now. She's probably listening. I'll pay for that later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
The man who tells you that he's boss at home will lie about other things. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And believe me, I'm not boss anywhere. I just work in with the system. I really do. Right. So, Mark, we just played Feel Your Love. Now, tell me about that. Where did you come up with the lyrics for that?
Was that? Well, Feel Your Love. That's I was kind of having a rough day. It was one of those days where nothing's quite going the way you want it to go, and in this business you deal with a lot of rejection and lots of doors slammed in your face. Sometimes they do it nicely, sometimes they slam it. But it was one of those days, and I came home and thought, started questioning, should I even be doing this? And I thought, no, of course I should be doing it. And that's where the song came from. I just give me a little encouragement, and I'll keep going. As long as you're encouraging me, I'll keep going. So that's what it came from.
And believe me, an absolutely extraordinary song in its own right. But we kicked off the top of the hour, of course. And believe me, I haven't got my glasses on. That's why I mentioned the wrong song right there and threw you a little bit. But we just played Deep Inside My Heart. Now, I want to know all about this because, believe me, we have a lot of listeners that do listen, especially a couple of shows that we have you in. We have you on 16 Hours Worth of Country on a Sunday. You're in there quite a bit, and believe me, on a Monday morning when I come into work, I get quite a bit of feedback on who's requesting what and who's culminating what sort of request. At the same time, we have you in on a show on a Monday night as well. And we also collate those over the week when we play you as well, because people do request us from time to time through the week in different things. We have to sort of figure out where we're going to put you in. But at the same time, it's all really, really well programmed. But at the same time, you're getting quite a following here at Galaxy, and believe me, I'm watching it grow every week since we've been playing you. And everybody wanted to know about Deep Inside My Heart because that's why we started the show off, because it was one of the more requested songs. I'm not going to say the requested because we're going to work up to that. But one of the more requested songs. So tell me all about it. Where did you record it? Who was your producer? But more importantly, give me an in-depth on the lyrics.
The lyrics are, I like I'm a positive person. I like love. I like to be in love, and the song is about. It's exactly about that. It's about meeting somebody. A lot of my songs on this new CD are in fact that way. I've Got a Feeling, which you're going to play later, which is the single that's out right now. It's a kind of a love at first sight song, as is Deep Inside My Heart. And that particular song was written a while ago, and I was in a relationship. I wasn't actually in the relationship yet, but it was one of those things where I wanted to be in the relationship, and I wasn't sure if she was feeling the same way. And so that's kind of where the lyrics came from. Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming, because I think she's digging me too. So it was one of those things. That's where it came from. And I recorded it in Nashville, where I do almost all of my recording. I work with a guy there named John Albany. And John is he owns Sonic Eden Studios. It's a small studio. It's not in downtown Nashville. It's actually in the Berry Hill region. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Nashville at all, but the Berry Hill region is like kind of southeast, I guess, of downtown. But John is he's a super talented guy. We produced it together, and he has this tremendous access to musicians. And most of the guys that played on my record are very established road musicians. George Marinelli's the electric guitar player. He plays with Bonnie Raitt. And Dow Tomlin's the bass player. He plays with Winona. And the drummer, a guy named Brian Fullen, he plays with Sarah Evans. And then the keyboard player is a guy named Dennis Wage. He plays with Delbert McClinton. And then the real master of the whole thing is Wanda Vick, who plays. She's a multi-instrumentalist. She plays dobro. She plays fiddle. She plays mando. She plays an instrument called a bouzouki, which I'm not sure you're familiar with. It's kind of a larger. It's in the banjo family, but it's got a different sound. So she also plays the bouzouki, and she plays every one of them. And I don't know what else she plays, but I know she plays those things. And she is just an amazing talent, and she plays every one of them equally as well. Now she'll probably tell you she plays one better than the other, but I can't tell, because she plays them all so good. And then I did all the vocals. I did the lead vocals, and I did all the harmonies. We just layered them. I did the harmonies on it. So it's a really good, fun song. It's kind of interesting because when we were trying to pick a single, the first single for the record, for this new CD, we couldn't really. I felt really good about that particular song, and we talked about doing that as a single. It's going to be a single. I just don't know. Maybe it'll have to move up the notch in terms of what order they go in. But we ended up with I've Got a Feeling, but that's one of the ones that's probably, I don't know if that will be the next one, but it'll certainly be the third one. So we'll see. But I'm really happy that people are really liking it. That's good news. Maybe I need to move it up a slot.
Well, you never know, actually, because believe me, people are liking it a lot here at Galaxy, and we get a lot of requests for your music. Now, we were talking also about Feel Your Love, and just before I go into that, you said you don't know whether I would know Nashville at all or not. I used to stay once upon a time in a place called Newport, just down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, I am very familiar with Nashville. In fact, I've been to the Grand Ole Opry a number of times and had a look through there. So, and I have a number of friends over there as well. And I don't know whether you would know a guy called Steve Baker.
Oh, I know Steve very well. In fact, Steve and I have been corresponding just in the last few weeks here about promoting my videos, and he actually promoted. I had a few years ago, had a couple videos out, and he was my video promoter. So yeah, I know Steve very well.
Nice, nice. Well, we kind of love Steve the best, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, sure.
And of
He's a
course,
great guy.
yes, he's invaluable with what he does as well, much like Martha, if you know what I mean, just the expert in their jobs. And visual image marketing is something, if you haven't already got in touch with Steve, really get in touch with Steve. If not, get in touch with us. We'll make sure you get in touch with Steve. He's so invaluable, especially to be able to get those videos out to places like the floating palaces, the malls, the rock palaces, you name it. He gets them out there. And it is such a part of today's music industry, isn't it? Having that video promoted everywhere.
It is. It's in fact, I'm affiliated with ASCAP, and I was out in LA back in, I think it might have been April, or it was May actually, and I was in, they have a thing called, they do it every year, and it's called I Create Music Expo. And you go out there and you meet a lot of different vendors and such, and you meet, I'm going to put this phone out of the way, you meet a lot of industry people, and they go to, they have round table discussions, and they have little symposiums, and you go in and it's what was interesting was they are reporting that 70% of all new music today, of course it could change tomorrow because it's the world we live in now, but 70% of all new music is discovered on YouTube, which is really amazing because people are, we're visual animals, and we like to see pictures, and so that was amazing to me. That in fact, my strategy for this record was to do more videos and spend more time doing videos and doing shows like yours where you have that visual impact. And I've actually haven't done a whole lot of straight radio promotion like I have in the past because of that. And I'm thinking, well, instead of doing that, I'm a little bit of both, but I'm doing more of the videos. So that's more to come. So it seems to be the way to go.
It really, really is. I got to be honest with you. You're on the right path there, and at the same time, while you're mentioning new work and more to come, I hope, Mark, that this is not the one and only interview we're going to do. Will you please pass on all your new work to us? We would love to be able to premiere you.
Absolutely.
In the future, we really, really will. Having said that, that's rather a pun because we are already in your future. Yeah, I think you're Monday over there. We're Tuesday over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Barbara to give you the lotto numbers on a Saturday night. You can go down on Friday, buy the ticket. I'll get you halves when you win.
That'd be great.
Good theory, I think. Yeah, exactly. Good theory, I think. Yet to happen, though. So, without further ado, Mark, I think we should play Feel Your Love right here at Galaxy. Here is Mark, Wayne Grisham, and Galaxy. I don't know why that finger didn't trigger.
No. Hi, Dee.
So how you feeling there, Mark? You okay?
Oh, doing great.
Nice,
Very
nice.
nice.
Hey, Martha. How are you,
Martha's joined us.
sweetheart?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get
good.
Martha. Yeah, you'll be able to. Martha,
Oh,
you'll be
no,
able to
he's
see.
not there.
Yeah,
There we
there
go.
he is.
Yeah, she's watching.
Nice to have you with us, Martha. I mentioned you just a couple of minutes ago. Please, can we finalise that contract, or that gig with Southern Halo? We'd love to finish that interview, please, Martha. Please, I really
Oh,
would.
and anybody else that you'd like to put forward.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
especially
Martha, thank you.
especially if they're like Mark
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, so basically, this is what we do when we're.
In between songs.
Yeah, exactly. We just shoot a bit of the shit, to be honest, right?
I'm trying to figure out how I can, maybe Barbara can tell me, how can I share this on so that the feed goes to my page?
You just go to share.
Do I just copy the link, or
Share-
do I?
Just go share. Martha did shares. She shared it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Should say share down there.
Oh yeah, there's.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
okay. Well, I did. Okay, I must have. I just saw Martha.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Now, next we've got Out of the Frying Pan coming up, my friend. But in between there, I want to talk about websites and also how the fans, because believe me, when we do interviews and we play the music saying to our audiences that we're doing an interview, we ask for suggestions on what the fans would like to know. And
Right.
they would like to know whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if they contact you, will you reply? Now, keeping in mind,
Absolutely.
that's the digital fan base of today, really, isn't it? Is these
Sure,
these
yeah.
multimedias like that. So it's always nice to know that when a fan gets in touch with you, you reply. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. I don't reply. I have people for that.
Yeah. No, I try to reply to everybody. I
Yeah,
really do.
exactly. But you see, for me, I get so bloody busy that I have actually some staff that reply for me, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah. No, I do try. I try to do that every day because I know how much it means to if somebody really likes. I tell you, that's the other part of it too. I've had a
Mark,
couple songs.
I've just got to cut in here. I'm sorry, my bro. We'll continue this.
It's okay.
Got to put you back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. That one worked. Well done. Finally, we got something to work right here this morning. It's been one of those days, Mark. Joined, coming out of course, Arlington, Texas, is Mark Wayne Glasmire. Now, Mark, it is an absolute pleasure to have you with us, and I know that Martha is joining us as well right now. Kind of camera shy, to be quite honest now, or shy because the boss is watching. How do you feel about joining us down here down under?
I'm just totally honored to be here. It's great. It's Martha. When Martha told me about it, I was all excited. I guess a few weeks ago we were going to do it, but then you hurt your back, I think, and. Yeah, so when she got it rescheduled, I said, yes, please, let's do it. I'm really excited. So very, very grateful to be here.
Well, Mark, I do have to apologise for that. Just something that happens from time to time. An old war wound flares up from time to time. And believe me, it can be absolutely debilitating in some places. You know what I mean? And especially working here, I've got to climb about 20 steps up to get into the offices anyway. So sometimes it's just it's like climbing Mount Everest, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I do apologise about that, but I am very, very honoured that you came back and wanted to have a chat to us because, believe me, here at Galaxy, we're huge fans. We really, really are. Now, you started writing and singing, what, 10 years of age when you got your first guitar?
Well, I didn't start writing then, but I started playing. I tried to. Yeah, I got my first guitar at 10 years old, and I got it as a Christmas present. And first few years or the first few months, I played it every day, and I went and I had some lessons. And of course, I was very impatient, as a lot of 10-year-olds are, and I wanted to play. I wanted to be a Beatle. I wanted to play what was on the radio, and instead I was playing "Mary Had a Little Lamb" and songs like that. No, that's not what I signed up for. And so I was a bad student, and my parents cut me off, and they said, "Well, we're not going to pay for you to have music lessons if you're not going to if you're not going to do the practice. And so, needless to say, it got the guitar. I kind of lost interest. I got a little frustrated. Slid it under my bed for a few years, and where it was collecting dust. And then every now and then I'd get it back out. And the good news is I had lessons for maybe 6 months, and I learned. I was able to learn some basic chords, and that led to a little bit expanding and getting used to those chords, and eventually I was able to, and I still am. I'm able to listen to a song, and I can pick it up, and I can hear, because most of them are, most songs are pretty basic chords. It's just, they're just little twists on them here and there. And if you listen hard enough, you can figure it out. So that's what I did. So I really became self-taught. And then when I went to, as I got a little bit older, and I grew up in the 60s, so, I grew up with a lot of really cool music. And when most of my friends were going off and listening to Grand Funk and Jimi Hendrix and Ozzy Osbourne, and they went in that direction, and I went more to the softer side. I was listening to, of course, Johnny Cash, and I was listening to John Denver and Neil Young and guys like that, and Harry Chapin, who I was a big fan of Harry Chapin, and the Storytellers. And so what the beauty of that was for me was, as I got better at playing, excuse me, I was able to go out and play in clubs and bars and restaurants and frat houses and pretty much any place that would have me, and I could do those songs. I could do James Taylor songs, and I could do songs like that because they were story songs, and I could tell those stories with an acoustic guitar without having to have a whole band. Whereas if you're doing Foxy Lady or something like that, you got to have the whole band. It just doesn't come off the same. So I kind of went that direction, and when I was in college, I started to write a little bit. I was very shy. I was not very gregarious, and people find that hard to believe now. But I was very shy. A lot of people thought I was aloof or being stuck up or something. I was just scared to death. I was not. I was just very shy. And the music is what really helped me to overcome some of that shyness and gain confidence, and say, one thing led to another, and I got a gig. And when I was in college, I got this. My girlfriend at the time encouraged me to. They would have this folk night in her dormitory, in the rec room of her dormitory. She said, "You really ought to. If I get you signed up, will you come and play?" I said, I don't know, I'm pretty nervous. I said, okay, and I did, and I played 3 songs. I played a song called 3 Roses by the group America, and I played a song called Please Come to Boston by a guy named Paul Loggins, not to be confused with Loggins and Messina, and I played Father and Son by Cat Stevens. And so those were my 3 songs, and after that, it was like the floodgates opened, and I couldn't shut it off anymore. I had to go out and play more and more, and ended up. That's how I paid my way through college. Certainly a good about 2/3 of it I paid from playing in clubs and things, and started writing more. I became a little more confident in my ability to write, and it's a process. It's definitely a process, and I think that. The difficult part is, in fact, I was just talking to Martha about this today. We were talking earlier today, and about, I had some people that reviewed the CD, and some of them weren't as nice as other ones are, and it's hard. It's hard to hear it sometimes because that's your heart you're laying out there, and you're putting it out there for everybody to hear it and see it and listen to it, and it's like not everybody sees it the way you see it, and sometimes it's hard to take that, but for me it's very therapeutic, and I do take. I listen to what everybody says, and I absorb it, and I try to stay true to myself, but I also try to tweak it and get it where more people will like it. So.
I totally understand what you're saying, and in fact I've adopted a thing called love your haters. They're your biggest fans. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they wouldn't have anything to talk about. So, absolutely love your haters. Now, let's go back to when you mentioned that you were playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Basically, that's the same kind of thing as when I first started playing guitar. Same kind of deal. I was getting funded by my parents to take the lessons and everything. But you see, I was rifting out to Black Sabbath and Smoke on the Water and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And of course, my parents didn't kind of understand where I was heading with my musical career, so hence no more. So I fully understand where you're coming from there, I really, really do. Now, one of the questions that we have regularly here at Galaxy, my friend, is from our fans. If our fans want to get hold of you, are you on Instagram, are you on Facebook, are you on Twitter, and do you respond?
I'm on all those, and yes, I do. As probably the best way is through Facebook. That seems to be I seem to spend more time on there. I'm still kind of getting. I do have a Twitter account. I do have Instagram. I have all those things, but I'm the most comfortable on the excuse me, the platforms that have been around a little longer. Still kind of evolving. But yeah, by all means, I always try to respond. They can PM me. They can post on my page. I also have a website, which is www.markwayne.glasmire.com. They can message me there, and I always try to respond as soon as possible.
Nice. Now, having said that, with your website, do you have a merchandise store on there as well?
Do I have? I'm sorry.
A merch store, a merchandise store.
You know, I do. It's actually literally. I thought I would have. I just did a gig in Dallas this past Saturday, and I've got a bunch of new merchandise coming. I thought I would have it by then, but I don't. I should have it very soon. So there is some there, but there will be more very shortly.
Nice.
And there is. There's CDs, and there'll be T-shirts and coffee mugs and standard stuff.
Standard swag, yeah, I get what you mean. But at the same time, we like to be able to mention things like that so that our fans can capitalise on being able to get hold of you. Also, go and buy a bit of merchandise, go and buy some music. And having said that, buying music, are you on Amazon and iTunes, everything like that, where our fans can go and purchase the music? Don't be cheap. Go and purchase the music, because believe me, artists appreciate it. They really, really do. They're not doing this for nothing. Come on. Go and buy the music. So, are you on those medias as well?
I am. I'm on pretty much anywhere on the internet. You can find me. Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. I'm on all those platforms. And actually, there's some that CD Baby. I do all my distribution through CD Baby, and they actually are the ones who distribute it digitally and also have shops as well. So it's excuse me, it's pretty amazing, really, that you can reach the whole world, And again, here we are. You're in New Zealand. I'm in Arlington, Texas. It's pretty amazing to me. I'm still not sure I've processed it all yet. So it's pretty cool.
Don't worry, you're in good hands. I've done this once or twice before.
Once or twice. So, you talked about... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, please.
Well, I was going to say, you talked about purchasing the music and downloading it. One of the blessings and the curse, there's a blessing and a curse that goes along with this digital technology, and the blessing is you can reach the whole world, literally, and in real time. And the curse is now, because of the digital technology, is people are streaming music. They're creating their own channels on these different platforms, and they stream it. And that's great. It's awesome. I'm grateful that anybody even listens to it. The downside to that is the artist and the writers don't make a lot of money from that. They make money from downloads, they make money from hard copies being sold, but from a streaming standpoint, it's a fraction of a penny. And I'll give you a classic example, a perfect example of that, is I've had 5 songs in my career here that have streamed over 1 million times each. And you would think, oh my gosh, that's a lot of times, and it is. It's a lot of times. And a lot of people think, well, that's a lot of money too. Well, the reality is, for 1 million streams, I make about $700 for 1 million streams. Now, if it had been 1 million downloads, I would make $700,000. So please download.
It would be much better if you could get $1 every time somebody viewed it, don't you feel?
Oh, that would be great. That would be fantastic.
Exactly, and you know, what's $1? Come on, what's $1? You know, 99 cents $1. We can round it up to $1 with taxes and everything like that. But at the end of the day, believe me, I think the telecom companies and telecommunication companies are the ones that are winning out when it comes to literally artists performing music and stuff like that. Look at iTunes, for instance, very, very dominated by the telecommunications companies. And these days also, if you have a look at the record companies and stuff like that, they also are very dominated by the telecommunications companies. So those are the ones that are making the money and setting the prices down to, point of a 17th of a cent to the artist every time it plays until you get something that's worth maybe a couple of $100. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Well,
it's certainly changed. You know, it's changed the way. In fact, that's why a lot of these older bands that were very successful, you know, back 10, 15, 20 years ago, are having to go back on the road because they can't make any money through royalties. They have to go, and that's fine. I mean, they love to perform, but that really is the best way to, if you're trying to keep a roof over your head, you need to be out playing, and because you can't rely on royalties anymore. It's just a totally different thing. And listen, it's not just the music business that's that way. I mean, I grew up in a steel town in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And when I was a kid, Bethlehem Steel was the third largest steel producer in the world. It was the U.S. Steel, which is out of Pittsburgh. They were always number one. They're still number one. And then it was the country of Germany, and then it was little old Bethlehem Steel. But Bethlehem was a big powerhouse at the time. And 2000, in the year 2000, they shut their doors. There is no more Bethlehem Steel. They priced themselves, and they didn't stay up with the technology. And there's probably a zillion reasons why, but part of it was they didn't evolve with the technology. And as a result, they went out of business. And ironically, now, if you go to my hometown where the steel company once was, they still have the blast furnace there. It's actually a music venue, and it's called Steel Stacks, and it's incredible. But right next door to it is a casino, which is really kind of sad that's the new product is a casino instead of this, you know, this steel, which helped build the whole world and the Industrial Revolution and everything. So it happens that lots of people, you have to evolve, you know.
I think that's a visual metaphor of life, don't you think?
I think so.
Just a quirky way of looking at it, but I think that's quite a representation to be able to look at it live and just say, yeah, I get it. I really, really do. Now, at the same time, I want to talk to you about Out of the Fire, and we're getting quite out of the frying pan, sorry, I was thinking of the furnace and everything like that. So we're getting quite a few requests for this. Now, tell me all about it, because believe me, I know our fans want to know.
Well, that's a funny song. I wrote that song with it was the first song. One of the things when you're in Nashville, one of the things you learn in Nashville is you learn to co-write. And I had never, when I was still living in Pennsylvania, I would go back and forth from Pennsylvania to Nashville for different symposiums and things, and there was an organization still there called NSAI, which is Nashville Songwriters Association International. It's a great organization. I would highly recommend any listener that's tuned in right now to affiliate with them. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and it really gives you a lot of guidance. It led me to actually moving to Nashville. And really good organization. But anyway, I met this guy, Greg Holland, who was also kind of like me. He's from California. I was from Pennsylvania. We met in Nashville, and we wrote this song together. And it's one of the few things that I've written that's not a true story. It's a strictly made up. We could both relate to it. We could certainly had both circumstances in our lives or experiences in our lives where we could kind of pull information from to write the song. But that's where it came from, and we kind of did it tongue in cheek, and we were trying to be clever with, out of the frying pan into the fire, and it's upbeat. It's a really fun song. In fact, when I was getting ready to do the single, release the single, it was between three songs. It was between the one we picked, it was between Deep Inside My Heart, and the other one was Out of the Frying Pan. So it's going to be a single here soon, and I've already kind of written a screenplay for the video because we think it could be really fun, and so we'll see. Maybe it's going to be between those two songs, though, Deep Inside My Heart and Out of the Frying Pan. So you're giving me all this great information. I'll be able to use this for planning the next single, so that's great.
Great. Well, I tell you what, vicariously, we didn't actually know. It hasn't actually been released yet, so we're kind of sneaking that one in. So once we get you back a little in the future, and we'll actually do a better presentation for the song itself. But in the meantime, we are going to play it right now. Here's Out of the Frying Pan with Mark Wayne Glasmire. Warm up here, isn't it?
Surely is.
Hope I'm not talking too much.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine, my friend. In fact, some people don't talk enough. You know what I mean? So believe me, I'm absolutely enjoying it.
Great. I am as well.
The next one up was Without You, and we'll have a chat about that. But at the same time, Barbara does bands and concerts and stuff like that here in New Zealand. She manages Aurora Entertainments, and by the way that we're shaping up with the sets at the moment, it might be an idea to be able to consider talking to you about getting you down here, down under, to work with.
I would love to do that.
Nice.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
So basically, at the moment, we're pretty much booked up for this summer season, but we might be looking at something for maybe next summer season, if you know what I mean.
I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to. I've never been to New Zealand, and it's certainly on my bucket list to visit there. And gosh, if I could do it with music, that would be fantastic.
Exactly. Nothing like making a couple of coins while you're down here, right?
Yeah, well, that would be a bonus. I would love to come there, though. I love the country. I mean, I've seen a lot of photos and read articles, and I know some other people. I've met some other people from New Zealand, so everybody's very nice and just lovely people, and I just and they like to have fun too. They like to have a lot of fun. So
well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about it right now. You know where I'm going, brother.
Some never learn. Well, I try to squirm away, but I just get burned. I go out of the frying pan into the fire. A bad situation got worse. The living the way out, and I'm as good as dead. Should have just called me a hurt. Well, I tried to keep the dog my worries away, but the heat kept climbing.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 13 away from 12 o'clock, 19 degrees, we're almost 20 degrees. I'm going to hold at 20 today, and believe me, I think we're going to get there. In fact, it's just got there. How's that? 19.7, good enough. It's over. Yeah, over halfway. Anyway, Tuesday, October the 9th, and coming out of Arlington, Texas, we're joined by Mark Wayne Glasmire. And Mark, it is an absolute pleasure to have you with us. And believe me, it is a little bit of a treat to be able to discover music that we're releasing that we didn't realise that we were releasing at the time. So I'm kind of bemused by the reactions that everybody's been giving us with the request for your music, because nobody's heard it before and they're jumping all over it. It really is an absolute pleasure to be able to pass that little bit of information on to you. Having said that, I think maybe it might be in the cards over the next little while to have you come down here, down under in New Zealand, and play for New Zealand audiences. Would you entertain the idea?
I would love to. Just sign me up. I'll pack my bags tonight. Absolutely, yes. I would be honored to.
Nice. Well, at the same time, of course, not only can we turn on a few shows for you, we might be able to do a few crazy things as well if you're interested in doing a few, out-of-the-box kind of things. We're completely, in fact, I'm completely up for that. I do a lot of crazy things with the bands that come here, including, now I've got to go here, I really do, Barbara. Have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
A hoo-hoo grub? I would have to say no, I have not.
Okay, well, believe me, it's not the hoo-hoo I'm sure you're familiar with. And believe me, I think your hoo-hoo would be far more fun than the scrub. But you're familiar with a caterpillar, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, this is a caterpillar on steroids. It's like a double-decker bus. It really is quite big.
Oh, my God.
It's white, it has a black head, and what you do is you put the live body in your mouth and bite off the head and crunch down on it. It's like creamy peanut butter.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well,
Now,
it'd be a little bit of a reach, but we'll see.
well, I tell you what, a couple of shots of tequila as well, you'll be fine, really. And you really must think about the person next to you that's handing you these, you just got to think, what the hell? You really do. At the same time, we may take you down to the bottom of the South Island. I don't know, Barbara, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
We'll throw them off a bridge?
Yep. Why not?
Yeah, we'll throw you off a bridge.
Bungee jumping? Yeah,
Yeah,
I would do that.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, I've done it a couple of times myself. AJ Hackett is quite familiar with us, and we do take people down there. You can do the bungee jump, or you can do the big swing and everything like that. Absolutely thrilling, and it's an experience that you can actually go home and say, well, you know something? I bought a new pair of pants.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's funny. I've skydived before, so I think I could do the bungee jump.
Okay, well, we can do that too. I've actually done a bit of skydiving in my time as well. Believe me, I used to be a part of the skydiving club out of Rotorua, and that's only a few kilometres away. Always used to love doing stuff like that, but unfortunately the club in Rotorua is closed down right now, so hopefully one day it'll come back into it, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, always up for a little bit of thrill seeking and stuff like that. At the same time, we may be able to take you on a yacht ride through the Hodaki Gulf in Auckland, which is our biggest city.
Wow, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
You know, so there's many options that we can offer you while you're here. Of course, you can do the casino things and stuff like that. I kind of want to keep away from those ones, if you know what I mean. I'm more into doing something where I can ski down the side of a mountain rather than ski down the side of my wallet.
I'm with you there. Sure. I work too hard for my money.
Yeah, exactly. Why give it to somebody else that doesn't appreciate it? Absolutely, I know that one. Now, at the same time, I want to talk to you about Without You, because we are getting quite an interest in this particular song. How did you come to it?
It was that's a true story, and it was written a while ago, and I was married at the time, and it was basically a kind of a song about acknowledging, you know, the support that you get. And in my case, you know, it's funny because it's a really heartfelt song, and I have found that a lot of people can relate to it. You know, sometimes us as men, we don't like to say those things, even though we're feeling them. It's not necessarily easy to say, and so somebody else can say it for us. And I think that's what I found with that particular song is guys are saying, yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say to you. And so it's been good, and the women seem to love it. And the truth is, I'm in a relationship now, and the song is absolutely more relevant now than ever. So I'm very fortunate that way, and so you know, it's even though I wrote it at another time in my life, it's more relevant now than it ever was. So I'm very, very fortunate.
You know, I absolutely understand exactly what you mean about men. A bit macho, to be quite honest. Yeah, you know,
Sure.
but congratulations for actually being the one they recognise, because I think it's very, very apt in what you say there. So, without further ado, Mark, let's play without you. Here's Mark, Wayne Glasmire on Galaxy.
I don't mind.
You don't mind? That's cool. I enjoyed it. I like this song. So how you feeling, Mark? You okay?
Feeling fine. I sure am.
Nice. You don't need to grab a beer or maybe
No, got a bottle of water right here. Oh, just got a little note from Martha.
Yeah, she's gone off.
is she going, oh, that DJ shit?
No, she said, gotta jump off, enjoyed listening.
No.
She's probably gonna scold me later for saying, oh, you talk too much.
No, that's what it's all about.
Well, you're a talker.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And who else is joining us?
Oh, we've got Doug Kramer, don't know who he is. Sam Rollins, Tonya Parnell Garner, Jay Mason. Oh, of course we got Mark.
Mark's watching Mark.
My friend Vicky, of course, we said hello to. Jimmy Kincaid, Dee Beaujade. Yeah, we need to do that interview with Dee.
Yeah, we do. We really,
Yeah.
really do.
So yeah, that's who we've got, but Martha's gone.
Exactly. And I actually want to still find out if Dee's still got a dog.
Have you had Southern Halo on yet?
Yeah, a couple of times, but we had a technical glitch the last time because they were about to do their radio tour and we were the first kickoff, and there was a bit of a technical glitch on their part, so we took the back seat and said, listen, come back to us when you've done your tour and when you've settled down a bit. You know, we'd be more than happy to be able to fill that in. So that's why I was reminding Martha to get Southern Halo to come back to us, please, because we do want to complete that.
Sure.
It's like the missing piece in the jigsaw puzzle. It needs to be done.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And love the girls. Just love the girls.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they're having quite a bit of success right now too, which is fantastic.
They really are. In fact, I was talking to a good friend of mine, Jody Medford, about them because he's performed with them in the past. So, and he brought out a song called Moonshine.
Okay.
And have you ever seen the TV series Moonshiners?
Yes. Yes.
Right, well, a couple of those guys turned up to the filming of the video of the song Moonshine, and apparently they got the girls on the video really drunk. who had driven from different states all over America to get here to do the show. And these guys got them drunk. Well, he's actually teeing up an interview with Josh. He's the guy that cut his finger off. Has the little dog called Cutie Pie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we're going to be...
Yeah, I know.
He very first came in with Bill and ended up having a fist fight with him. They were building a still under the grandstand, if you remember. Well, we're going to do an interview with him. Anyway, hold on. got a long tail on that one. Somebody didn't cut the tail off. That's what it is. It is 3 away from 12 o'clock, 18 degrees. Heading for a high, well, it is our high of 18 degrees, but I think we're going to go up as high as 20. And we have been there already this morning. Tuesday, October the 9th, and I'm joined by Mark Wayne Glasmire, coming out of Arlington, Texas. Now, I've got to ask you, Mark, Texas, home of the Longhorn.
The connection just kind of got bad. I'm sorry. How are the Longhorns?
Home of the Longhorn, I've heard.
Home of the Longhorns, yes, that's right. The Longhorn cattle, and they have really, really long horns. I mean, it's pretty amazing. But they're mostly they're not quite so many around the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I live. Arlington is right in between Dallas and Fort Worth. But so you go out to West Texas, and it's loaded with longhorn cattle. It's pretty amazing. They're amazing creatures. They are. Their horns. They do things like they'll put weights on their horns as they're growing, so that they curve down, so that they don't impale anybody. You know, so it's pretty interesting. I had a buddy of mine who literally is a cowboy, and he's a rancher, and he raises cattle, and he was telling me all these little things about them.
Well,
longhorn cattle.
For us here in New Zealand, believe me, I've got to be honest with you, I'm a coal miner's son. I was brought up by a guy who used to blow stuff up in a coal mine for a living. Absolute nut, to be honest. He really was. I loved my dad, but, no, it wasn't for me, to be very honest with you. But we at the same time had our own farm and stuff like that. Barbara also has her own farm and has a couple of cows and some sheep and chickens and stuff like that. Very picturesque, Barbara's place, by the way. And when you do come here to New Zealand, we will take you out there. The first thing that'll strike you is we have the ocean. You've got to actually go right beside the ocean to get to Barbara's place, which is about an hour away from here. And it's so picturesque. You just absolutely will fall in love. And it's indicative of our country, if you know what I mean. We are so green and so very, very picturesque. We don't want to muck it up too much, if you know what I mean. We absolutely love it the way it is.
Right, I do.
But we don't kind of know what it's like to be out in these big ranches, kilometres and kilometres and kilometres, or miles and miles and miles of ranch land, especially through stages of drought and stuff like that, and see what the other people on the other side of the world and how they manage their ranches, farms, stuff like that, compared to the way we do it down here, down under, because that's our biggest exporters, of course, beef here in New Zealand.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Besides beef, we have things like, of course, lamb, and Barbara doesn't like the thought of that because she's got quite a few of them herself and doesn't want to part with them. That's the problem. But at the same time, she won't let me come over to her place and ride one. I knew the sheep, and I knew about the sheep and the wool and everything. I did not know about the beef, so that's really interesting. Exactly, and then of course we send out milk products. We capitalise on that, and kiwi fruits and stuff like that, which is really weird because a kiwi fruit originally was a Chinese gooseberry.
Oh, really?
Way back in the day, but we managed to take control of that, and now it's one of our big exports through the world.
Right. I didn't realize they came from the Orient. I would have never known that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, they were gracious enough to leave it here in New Zealand, and of course we capitalised all over that one. Something we can claim back from
China.
China.
Was that from sailors? Was that from trade, from ships going back and forth?
Quite possibly, to be quite honest. I wasn't around at the time to witness it, but I will have to research that one. But yeah, quite possibly, to be very honest with you. Of course, we were colonised by the English, if you know what I mean. Same with Australia, and I remember Captain Cook did us quite a few favours. He colonised New Zealand, and of course the English sent all the prisoners to Australia.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew that.
Yeah, it's a true story, and they can't live it down. Because I keep reminding them. I do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's that brotherly love from across the ditch between each other. You know,
Of course.
they can't even play rugby union, rugby football yet.
Oh boy.
No.
I'm not going there.
Why?
Go on, go
Why?
there, go on, go. I encourage everybody to go there. But at the same time, now that mentioned that you may be coming down here to be able to work with us in the near future, and believe me, we would absolutely love to have you here. We may even do a little contour and put you into Australia as well and entertain some of them. And we'd love to be able to get a working relationship with you within both countries.
That would be fantastic. I would love to do that.
It kind of makes it worthwhile now to interest you in coming down if we can throw in yet another country, if you know what I mean. So maybe
Sure.
I'm kind of thinking maybe about 4 shows here and maybe something around the same in Australia.
That would be great. It sounds great. Let's get it on the calendar.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, we'd love to be able to do that with you, and I'm sure Barbara's going to be able to talk to you further in the future about it. At one condition though, I would love to know if you would bring Martha with you.
Absolutely. If she wants to come, absolutely.
You know, it would be an absolute pleasure to have the lady come for a holiday and spend some time and enjoy some good music at the same time. So
Sure.
the invitation is extended to Martha as well. And of course now, your good lady that you mentioned that you're involved with right now, would be nice to be able to have her.
Absolutely.
And-
That'd be a must. That would be a must.
And
Yeah.
there's your segue to give us a shout out to your good lady. What's her name?
I'd rather not say.
Fair enough. I fully understand that. I really, really do.
I try not to. In fact, even on my social media stuff, I don't post a whole lot of stuff, personal stuff. And it's not meant to be offensive to anybody. It's just, I try to keep that stuff separate because it's challenging enough. You know, so I try to keep that separate.
I fully understand, and I'm going to butt you in there before anybody puts anything in their mouth without warrantly, you know what I mean. So at the same time, though, always nice to have somebody that is in the background supporting the artist and have that support. And believe me, I am one of the first people to say, good on you for allowing your artist to do exactly what you do. Props to you for that. So whatever her name is, love from us here in New Zealand, believe me. And now at the same time, I want to let you know that the next song we're going to play is your, how do I put this, the most requested Mark Wayne Glasmire song that we have. And believe me, since we've been playing you, Mark, this song has absolutely gone through the roof with us. 5,017 requests to date over the last few weeks that we've been playing it. So we're absolutely flabbergasted at that. Now, tell me all about Last of a Dying Breed, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are absolutely relating to it.
Yeah, Last of a Dying Breed is it's a true story. It's how I feel. I was raised, I grew up in the 60s, and my parents were hardworking people, and we were, I went to public schools, and we learned to respect each other, and we learned to be accountable, and, that's what the song's about. It's about, taking responsibility for yourself and not being afraid to stand up and fight for what you believe in, and regardless of who else agrees with you or disagrees with you, but do it in a respectful way. And if you really believe in something, you should stand by it. And that's what the song was about. And I do feel like a lot of people do, that you look around and it's like, there's not many of us left. I feel like we're the last of a dying breed. And again, I love playing that song when I play it out live. People love it, and I will tell you, it's very obvious. It's people in a particular age group, and not everybody gets it, but the people that do really like it, and so I'm really pleased with that song. And it's I think I told you earlier, you know, we had a funny thing when that's from a previous CD, and I had when Martha, when we were talking about the songs on the CD, I wanted that to be the name of the CD, and I was talked out of that name, and actually she was a little concerned, you know, because of the political climate we're in today. She was a little concerned that people will take it the wrong way, and you know, she said, you know, you sound angry, and I said, no, I'm not angry at all. I just see the world a different way, and it's not meant to hurt anybody's feelings or say I'm better than you. It's just saying this is the way I see it, this is the way I was raised, and I'm singing about it. So, last of a dying breed, that's what it's about.
You know, I really, really get that. I really, really do. But that's only just a portion of the story, isn't it? There's still more to that.
There's a little more to that story. You mean the part that I wanted that to be the name of the record?
Yeah, and somebody else came out.
I wanted that to be the name of the record, and I was convinced, don't do it because it sounds negative. It sounds like you're at the end of the road. It sounds like that'll be it. And I said, okay. I said, all right, but I really feel strong. And I said, no, just trust us on this. So we just called it. We named it after me. It's MWG. And a few months after I did that, after I changed the title, Leonard Skinner came out with their next record, which was called Last of a Dying Breed. So, you know, go figure.
Well, I think, to be quite honest, there's a lesson in following your gut. Here is Mark Wayne Glasmire and Last of a Dying Breed.
Hey, Harley. And Jordan, Norman Jordan.
Holly.
Norman Jordan, Harley Black.
Oh, Harley. Okay. Welcome along. So now we've got to the to the pinnacle of this one, where we're going to release I've Got a Feeling. And we'll have a chat about that. At the same time, I'm going to ask you if you, the next time you go into the recording studio, I don't know whether you call them liners, stingers, voiceovers, or what over there. We call them stingers over here. If you put a couple of stingers together for us, and I'll get Barbara to send you a couple of lines or something that we can play on the radio. That way it keeps you going all the time, if you know what I mean. Brilliant.
Sure. Be glad to do that.
At the same time, I suppose I better mention, today I'm dressed by
Black
Market 3.
2 years ago they sent you that.
Scotty, believe me, love Scotty in the band. I really, really do.
What size? I'll tell you, what size shirt do you take? I'll send you. As soon as I have this shipment, I thought I was supposed to get them last week, but now they're not going to come to this. If you tell me what size you are, I'll send you some shirts.
Yeah, I take a large, but if you're going to send me one, maybe you might send a couple more, one for my wife and maybe one for Barbara. Now, if you're going to send one for Barbara, just a little bit bigger. She's
okay.
You know what I mean. And come here. This is my producer and my wife. This is Terry.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Carrie.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
We're on Facebook Live.
We're on Facebook Live.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Go back to your desk and do your job. But at the same time, maybe if you're going to do that, why don't you throw in a few CDs, maybe a couple of T-shirts or a few extras, and we'll do some giveaways. Do a competition for you.
Okay. That sounds great.
Nice. Let's go back to the desk.
Sometimes I trip, sometimes I fall, sometimes I'm back against the wall. But I don't count on someone else to do what I should do myself.
You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, Giant coming out of Texas, would you believe? Of course, with Arlington, Texas, that is, is Mark Wayne Glasmire. And Mark, it has been an absolute pleasure catching up and getting to know who you are all the way through this whole interview. And I do apologise, we were supposed to do it a couple of weeks earlier. That was my fault. Unfortunately, it's my old age catching up with me. But we are here for a reason, and believe me, this is the reason. Now, before we get to the reason just now, I just want to talk about the album per se. What is the name of the album that this particular track is going to be released on, and how do we get some copies of it?
The album is called Can't Be Denied, and it's available again on all the internet outlets, Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby, pretty much anywhere that you can buy product online. It's available there. You can contact me directly on my website, and I'm going to be sending you some copies that you can give out to to listeners, not customers, listeners. Maybe do some contests or something, and those will be coming to you soon. So yeah, it's I'm pretty excited about it. It's got 12 tracks on it, and I think I feel really good about it. I think you'll like it. It's got a lot of energy.
Well, I got to be honest, if any of the previous work that we've just covered is anywhere near that particular album, and I know that there's a few tracks on there, I'm absolutely excited. And I know our fans, as I said to you earlier on, are just requesting you left, right and centre, especially through specific shows that we play, and they want to know more about you. We've covered that you do have a girlfriend. I know a young lady in Australia emailed me earlier on asking what your marital status was, and I just think she's looking for a husband, but I emailed her back saying she has to come with, she's got to come with a brewery and a boat. There you go. So I didn't quite go there with you with that one, but at the same time, we are excited to be able to talk to you and come to the pinnacle of what we think is now the most exciting part of the interview, which is the premiere of I've Got a Feeling. Now tell me all about it.
I've Got a Feeling is I co-wrote that song with a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Debbie Champion. She's in Nashville. We met at she used to host, well, she still does, she used to host writers' nights in Nashville, and so when I first moved to town, met her, and we wrote this song together. We actually wrote several songs together, but this is the one that seems to be the most popular at the moment. And so just we just when you co-write, you kind of get to know each other a little bit, just small talk and share ideas and find out what's going on in each other's lives. And then at this particular time, we talked about love at first sight. Do we believe in it? Has it ever happened to us? Do we think it's real, or is it just imaginary? And I don't even remember which one of us was that said what they said, but basically somebody said something and the other one said, I had a feeling you were feeling that feeling. And that's where the song came from. So it's Love at First Sight. It's a really cool video out on it right now, and very excited about it.
Yeah, we can't wait to play it here at Galaxy. So here is Mark Wayne Glasmire, and I've Got a Feeling.
Congratulations to Mark. Yeah. Great song.
It is a great song. Absolutely love it. So what we'll do now, Mark, is we'll tail out of this, but don't go anywhere. Of course, we'll do a little 15-second skit that we can put onto the website so that people can do that as well.
And my song.
I've got to be honest with you, Mark, I would be absolutely honoured to wear any of your logos or anything like that. It is subliminal.
Oh, great.
People see it when they're watching these interviews and stuff like that, and they go and look as well. So any advertising I can hand or lend a hand to, I'd be more than honoured to do so.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind. That's very kind.
And at the same time, I want to say Martha's good books too. You know, and she keeps bringing me absolutely superb talent like yourself, you see, so
Thank you.
absolutely bend over backwards for Martha, and got to welcome you to the family now.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be part of it. I really do appreciate it. And Martha is a sweetheart. She really is. She's a really hard worker. She always has your back. You know, she's just I've been very, very fortunate to have crossed paths with her along the way, for sure.
Absolutely,
So.
absolutely, bro. I know exactly what you're saying. I love Martha to bits. I really, really do. And that's why I was just saying, you know, put her on the list. Let's bring her down here, down under, because
Absolutely.
I'm sure
Yeah.
her and Barbara would go shopping.
Sure. Maybe we can get a couple of her other artists, Southern Halo and me, and maybe a couple other people that come at the same time. That would be fantastic.
Well, now you're talking about a festival, and stop doing that, because Barbara's starting to smile. And when she does that, she makes that sort of stuff happen.
Yeah.
She does.
That's great.
Oh, looking at land today.
Yeah, we're actually going to go and look at some venues today for another show that we're doing with an old English band called Sweet.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they brought
Very great.
out songs like Fox on the Run, Ballroom Blitz, stuff like that.
Great.
So
That's fantastic.
Barbara's bringing them into the country for about a year away, would you believe? So planning starts now, including,
Yeah.
we're talking to sponsors today too, aren't we? Anyway, better get back to the desk.
Back to work.
Great.
Right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 21 after 12 o'clock and 17 degrees downtown. It's dropped a little bit. Yep, but you know, hold hope yet. Tuesday, October the 9th, and I'm just playing with the people on the Facebook feed right now, Mark. So if you saw something really weird there, it was just a little bit of a play, letting people know that I actually see you. I do. I can see each and every one of you. Yeah, you picking your nose, I see that. But in the meantime, Mark, it has been an absolute pleasure to have a chat with you coming out of Arlington, Texas, and I hope in the very near future we can do this again with more new work.
I would love to. I would love to. Thank you so much for having me.
It has been an absolute pleasure, my friend. It really, really has. But don't go anywhere just yet. We're still going to do something right after this. But in the meantime, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here's Gary Newman and the Cars.